Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about collection classes. There are different collection classes in Java frame in collection framework. The first class we are going to discuss is the array list class. So array list is a class which is extended from the interface. Array list is a class which is implemented from the interface called as list, which is extended from the collection interface. So here, this is the hierarchy of the array list. Here we are having a collection interface, which is extending an interface called as list, which is implementing a class called as array list. Here, array lists are similar to array, but the difference is normal Java arrays are of fixed length. But here, the array list, in the array list class, arrays are created so that they can be growed and they can be stringed. But in Java, when you declare an array, the array is created, but they cannot be growed or they cannot be stringed. We cannot add the elements in advance or we cannot remove the element from the array. But here array list, when you are creating the array list, it is created with the initial size where the size can be exceeded and the size can be shrunk. That is, we can add the objects into the array list or we can remove the objects from the array list. So in order to implement this array list, we are having different methods. So here is one of the example program with some of the methods. So here have declared a class called as ArrayListDemo class. And one thing we need to remember, whenever we are writing a collection framework program, we have to import the util package because util package is containing all the classes and interfaces of the collection framework. From there, we will import the classes and interfaces into our program. So this is a class here, and we have created a class object AL for the ArrayList class here. So here we are having the first method called as add, which is used to add the object into this array list. So AL is the object created for this array list, and add is a method name, and C is the object added. So like that, we are adding some of the objects into the array list. Here there is one more method called as add index comma object, that is at a particular index 1 an object A2 is added. Next, here we are printing the elements depending upon the size. Whatever the size, here we have added the element, depending upon that the elements are printed. Next, we are the contents of the array list have been displayed here. Now if we want to remove any element from the array, we have a method called as remove method, which is used to remove a particular element. Here we are retrieving the element name. F is the element here. That element is removed by using the object AL. Next, AL dot remove of 2. That is, here we are representing the index. Here we are representing the index of the element. Using the index of the element, the object is removed from the array list. And then after removing, if you want to check what is the size and what are the contents of the array list, then we can print it by using this. So here we are making use of add method, which is used to insert the element, and add index comma object, that is we are adding the element at a particular index and then removing a particular element from the array list and removing the element at a particular index. So these are the four methods, and a size method is used here, which is used to retrieve the size, the number of elements present in the array list. Next class is a Java linked list class. Okay, so this is a linked list class. It is also implemented from the interface list like shown here. It is similar to array list, but the only difference is a linked list contain duplicate elements. Even the array list also contains a duplicate element. Linked list maintains the insertion order, and the elements in the linked list are not synchronized, and manipulations will become very fast in the linked list. And this linked list is following a data. It is following it provides a linked list data structure. That is, it implements the list and DQ interfaces, and in this linked list manipulations are done very fast, and it can be also used as a list, stack and queue. In the array list and in the linked list, the elements are stored in the insertion order, are maintained the insertion order, and can also contain the duplicate elements in that. Next, we have the simple example program for this linked list. Here we are importing the Java util package. Then we have the name of the class here. Then public static void main string args. Here linked list is the class. Here I am telling here string represents the type of the objects of this linked list. So here creation of the object here for this linked list class, and then the same method add, which is used to add the elements into the linked list. Then the list of the elements are retrieved here. Then we have the remove method to remove a specific element from the linked list, and then remove the element at a particular index. That is, removing an element on the specific position. This is the method here. Suppose if you want to remove the first element from the list, then we use a method called as remove first method. If you want to remove the last element from the list, then we use remove last method. First occurrence means, see here, in this you are having two objects called as Gaurav and Gaurav here. So when I use the method remove first occurrence, the first occurrence, that is wherever the object Gaurav is found first, that element is removed. Then remove last occurrence is when you are having two or more objects of same, wherever you find the last object with that name, that is removed here. And after that, if you want to clear all the elements from the list, then we go for the method called as clear method. Okay. Then the next class is the hash set class. This is a class which is implemented from the set interface, which is extended from the collection interface. Here we are having a collection interface which is extending an interface called as set, and which is implementing a class called as hash set. So the difference between the list and the set is, list interface will maintain duplicate elements and will maintain the insertion order. But here our set will maintain only unique elements, and it allows null values, and it will does not maintain the insertion order. These elements are not inserted depending upon the insertion order. They are inserted based on the hash code. And this is following the principle of hashing in order to store the elements. And we can also perform all this. The best way in this hash set is following search operation, and the default capacity of the hash set is 16 elements with a load factor of 0.14. Okay, so we will go with one example program of this hash set class. So here is the hash set class here, creating an object for the hash set class, that is set here. Again, similarly, we have a method called as add method, which is used to add all the elements into the set. And one thing we should remember here is the elements are not stored in the insertion order. Okay. And then we are having set remove method. This remove method is used to remove a particular element from the set class. Next, here I'm creating one more set class with an object set1, and here I'm adding some elements here. Here see, this is one more method called as add all method. The purpose of this method is used to add all the elements of this is set1 object into set. That is, the elements of the second set are added into the first set. Then if you want to remove all the elements from the second set, then we use a method called as remove all method. And here next is a method called as remove if. That is, if a string is, if our set is containing an element called as Vijay, then it will be removed from the list. So in order to remove, in order to write it in the form of a condition, we go with a method called as remove if method. And in order to clear all the elements, we use the clear method. The next class is the tree set class. Here, tree set class is a class which is implemented from the navigable set interface, which is implemented from the sorted set. The difference between set and sorted set is set will store the elements, but sorted set will store the elements in the ascending order. So here, as a tree set is a class which is implemented from the sorted set interface, the elements are stored in the ascending order and it will not allow the null value. Whereas set will allow the null value, but our sorted set will not allow the null value. And it contains only unique elements like the hash set. And retrieval and accessing of the elements becomes very fast in this tree set. Okay, and it maintains the ascending order. Now, one example program regarding the tree set is, so here I'm having a tree set class, which is creating an object set. So here again, we are using a method called as add, which is used to add the elements into the set. So here the usage of poll first method is the first element from the set is retrieved. Then poll last is the last element is retrieved from the set. Next, we have the linked hash set class. Now, this linked hash set class is extended from the interface hash set and is implemented from the, it is extended from the class called as hash set and implemented from the interface called as set. So, this linked hash set will follow the principle of hash set. That is, it contains only unique elements and store the elements in the insertion order. In hash set, elements are storing by using the principle of hashing, but this linked hash set will store the elements in the insertion order. And it contains only unique operation and it provides all set of operations and permits also the null elements to be stored in this linked hash set class. Next, one of the example program to represent the linked hash set classes. So here is a linked hash set class which is containing the elements of string type because I'm driving here as string. Then add element is used to add all the elements into the class. And here we are having iterator method. The purpose of iterator method is to represent the elements of the collection class in the order. That is, here iterator is the interface which will create an object. With that object, we are having the has next method. It checks whether the next element is present or not. If next element is present, that element is retrieved. That is, the elements are retrieved in the order one after the other by using a method called as iterator method, iterator interface, which is containing three methods, that is iterator method, has next method and the next method. So thank you everyone.